Well, good morning, Dirtfish Rally friends. It's day one of the Ypres Rally Belgium. 8 stages in front of us today. We have 97 competitive kilometres. Not the longest of days, but a testing day for sure. The big question this morning is weather. Take a look at the clouds around us just now. It's looking a little threatening, isn't it? Now, yesterday evening, they were forecasting rain for this stage this morning. That's kind of pushed back a little bit to maybe early afternoon. Thunderstorms expected by mid-afternoon. But as we were driving here a couple of minutes ago, a little bit of rain on the windscreen. So we'll have to see what happens. But the forecast, as I say, is for heavy rain this afternoon. Now, you know, Calais Rovanperä first on the roads. It's a bit of a strange one, this. Because if it had rained, you'd have said, yep, that really is probably not a bad thing for Rovanperä, because the road here, the cuts get progressively more and more wet, more and more muddy. But if it stays dry, well, do you know what? Sometimes there's a loose layer of dust on the surface that needs to be cleaned off. Remember, Sébastien Ogier last year really struggled first on the road. Let's have a very quick word with Calais. Calais, we're trying to work... Oh, quick word with you on there. Trying to work out what the conditions are going to be like for you this morning. It's a bit tricky, isn't it? First on the road, Sébastien Ogier struggled last year. What are you expecting?
Yeah, I think if it's dry like this, we will have some slippy corners, I think. Some dust on the road. There is some gravel from like normal cars, so the line is not really clean on the tarmac for us either. So yeah, let's see. For sure it's not so big benefit than if it's wet.
Could still rain though. There's a little bit of rain coming down. You know, that'll make it really interesting.
Yeah, the tire choice was tricky. The weather will be tricky. Let's see what happens.
Tire choice was straightforward or not?
It was not straightforward.
Oh, hello, not straightforward. What have they gone with now? Have a look at this. This is what they do to stop the other teams and to stop nosy journalists like me from working out what tyres they've got. They put a little sticker over the identifier. I could move it. I'm not going to. So it wasn't an easy choice. That'll be with this potential for rain this morning. Almost certainly we'll see rain this afternoon. Good morning, Joni. How are you this morning?
Good morning.
Are you well?
All good. I'm just taking out the cover so people really know what tires we took.
I'm not going to look. I'm really not going to look. I'm tempted to, but I won't.
Well, you see.
What are you expecting? Yeah, that's a wet. Clearly, I can see that's a wet one in the back. Now, so there we go. What was the other one? Is it 2 wets you've got? We'll know, obviously. Pirelli will give us those details. They've got obviously the racing tyres, if you like, on the car, 2 wets in the back. They're expecting maybe then a little bit of rain in this loop. It does look quite threatening as we look around us here. But the forecast says light rain maybe until this afternoon. It's going to make things enormously interesting. Who are we waiting for next? We're waiting for Oyt Tanak. Let's see if he's stopped along the road here. Let's go see if we can find Oyt Tanak. Okay, so before we speak to Oyt Tanak, we have an update for you on the tyre situation. It's very, very interesting indeed. Calais, first on the road, he's gone with 2 hards, 2 softs, and as we saw, 1 wet tyre in the back of the car. That is the only driver, Rovanperä is the only driver to go out with 1 wet tyre. That's a gamble. That's an early gamble this morning from Rovanperä. If it does rain, my goodness me, he could make a lot of time with that wet tyre. It's in the boot just now. It could go on for the next 3 stages. Should the conditions change, certainly in these conditions, you wouldn't use it. Obviously, just a little smattering of rain around. There's not an awful lot at all. Let's look at the other drivers. Let's have a look at Oyt Tanak. 2 hards, 4 softs. So they're obviously all expecting a little bit of dampness around. Thierry Neuville, maybe the man who knows more about these conditions than anyone. 2 hards, 4 softs for him as well. Let's look at Lappi. 3 hards and 3 softs. Solberg, 2 hards, 4 softs. Everyone going out with a combination of hards and softs. 2 hards, 4 softs seems to be the most common choice out there, expecting a little bit of dampness. Maybe as the rain comes down, maybe in the cuts as they come through. These, well, do you know what? It's been a dryish summer here, but we've had a bit of rain the last few days. The cuts will rapidly get muddy as Rovanperä heads off 10 minutes or so till he starts the stage. Let's go once again and try and find Oyt Tanak. It's not Oyt Tanak that we've come across, it's Thierry Neuville. He's the man that knows these roads, knows these conditions, knows this weather probably better than anyone. He's gone with 4 hards, 2 softs. Is that correct, Thierry? Have I read that wrong? Let me double check. 2 hards, 4 softs. So you're expecting a little bit of weather this morning?
It's hard to predict, to be honest, this morning. It's tough weather conditions, and nobody really knows. But yeah, we see the clouds are moving very fast, and potentially there could be some rain inside.
Callie's gone with 1 wet tyre. That's a real gamble. Unexpected?
I mean, at some point the rain should arrive, but I don't know if 1 wet with 2 soft and a hard on the car will work very well.
Just tell me about the conditions in the stages. Just sorry to interrupt, but very quickly, how quickly will it get muddy out there? Because it's been quite a dry summer.
Yeah, and I mean the cuts are very dry for the moment, so even with a bit of rain, I think it will need some time before the water soaks into the ground and would make it really muddy. But anyhow, when the tarmac is already wet, it's far slippery enough.
It's going to be interesting. Confident after shakedown, feeling good?
It's okay.
Okay, come on, Thierry Neuville. How much would we love to see a Neuville win here? It's been, there he goes, look. He goes through this routine. It's something we don't want to interrupt, clearly. He goes through a pre-stage routine, just loosens himself off, as is Martin, but he's an absolute athlete. Look at him, you're a racing snake, Martin. How are you feeling this morning?
Good. I thought you were bringing a coffee for me, but...
Do you know what? I've even struggled to find one for myself this morning.
Okay.
And to be honest with you, I'm not allowed to give you a coffee in the morning. That would be outside assistance.
But I could smell. I love it.
It must be great for you back here competing on your home stages. Bit of pressure on you, but you'll enjoy this week.
Yeah, we will enjoy. We are enjoying since the beginning of the week already, so yeah, it's fantastic. A lot of people, so yeah. Back on tarmac, it's my favorite.
It gets my blood going, it really does. Martin, have a great week. There we go, Martin Vidiga. That was the elusive Oitanak that we were looking for. What do we do, cameraman? Do we drive to that one or do we walk? You're an athlete. I'm an athlete. Come on then, let's go. I'm not running, it's too early. So, interesting, Thierry Neuville there, making the point that the weather comes in extremely quickly. It can come, and we saw it last night in shakedown. You know, it started to rain, just really a few minutes before the shakedown stage. Look at the times last night from shakedown and see the difference it made. As the stage dried out for the second, third passes, it got remarkably faster. But that rain came down very quickly. It dried out again very quickly. I think what we're going to see here today, when the rain does arrive, it could be quite torrential. They're forecasting thunderstorms for this afternoon. And as Neuville said, don't worry really too much about the cuts. When the tarmac here gets wet and slippery, it's hard enough as it is. So here we go, it's Elvin Evans. We know how fast Elvin is on tarmac. I'm sure he'll be looking forward to giving this car a blast on these stages. Just a quick word with Scotty Martin, checking the tyre pressures. Let's just check what tyre choice Elvin went with. 4 softs, 2 hards was the choice of Neuville. Elvin Evans has gone with 3 softs and 3 hards. A real mixed bag of tyres out there this morning for our drivers. See if we can grab a very, 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 very quick word, Elvin. I don't want to interrupt your pre-stage procedures that you do. What a difficult morning in terms of weather and what's going to happen.
Yeah, we have to wait and see. Nobody really knows still. So,
a lot of differences in tyre choice. That could make the times very interesting, particularly if it stays dry.
Yeah, let's see. It's hard to know.
It's hard to know, Elvin. Man, a few words at this time of the morning, and who can blame him? Very much in the zone. Let's cross the road, have a word with Paul Nagel. What have they got on the car? Let's have a look at this. It's hard for me to tell with my limited knowledge. Let's cross the road, over we come, nice and easy, nice and safe. Quick word with Paul. Paul, it was a busy time for you in shakedown last night, but the car seemed to get better and better.
Yeah, but by the end of the shakedown, we were very happy. Obviously, we had problems in the test, so we used yesterday as a proper test and 5 runs. So we're happy enough.
What do you think is going to happen with the weather this morning?
Well, there's rain coming, but no one seems to know when. So everybody's got a mixed bag at the moment of tyres, so it's a bit of a lottery this morning.
Yeah, I think it is going to be a little bit of a lottery out there this morning. Mixed bag, that is exactly the phrase I was looking for earlier on. Let's have a word then with Craig. He's gone with 4 hards and 2 softs. So if it stays dry, Breen could be on a really, really good Good strategy here. Craig, it's very tricky with this tyre choice in this weather forecast.
Yeah, it's not easy to find the right choice, to be honest with you, but it's dry now, so we've got hards on and we have to try and make the most of it now. Yeah.
So you're hoping it stays dry for the majority of the loop then?
That's the information that we've been given, so let's see. It's a little bit in contrary to what the others have done, but we'll just try and make hay while the sun shines on the first two, literally. First three, hopefully, and then try and, obviously we've got two softs in the back, and if it's wet later in the loop, we can use them.
It was good to find a little bit of confidence by the end of shakedown yesterday. You're feeling good now ahead of the event?
Yeah, honestly, it was a pre-event test last night. We didn't get one properly, so it was a lot of work, did a lot of changes, but I was quite happy at the end, yeah.
That's what we like to hear. A happy Craig Breen. It's what we like. Takamoto Katsuta and Aaron Johnson. See if we can grab a word with them. Taka-san just, he drops into his eyes. I don't know, maybe Taka-san wears contact lenses, I'm not sure. Maybe just something that helps to clear the vision, I don't know. Very quick word, Taka-san. Taka, how are you feeling this morning?
Yeah, good. Hopefully not too much rain, but looks like something coming, so it's gonna be interesting.
Could be interesting with the weather. This slippery tarmac makes it very difficult.
Yeah, that's one of the most difficult things, so I need to watch out it.
We'll let you head off. There we go, arigato. Taka-san. Let's have a wander around this side. Aaron Johnson just getting himself together. It's all very, very efficient, the use of space in the co-driver's cockpits. Very, very efficient. They've got their road books, they've got the pace notebooks, they've got their tyre pressure gauge, the helmet bag is there as well. Making use of every inch of space, but little job to do for Aaron. We'll leave him to it, checking his time as well. We'll just leave you there, folks, and we will join you again with the remainder of our cruise. Well, certainly those that we can get hold of before they head into the opening stage. Come on, Elfie! Next up, it is young Oliver Solberg. Wow. Certainly showed us yesterday evening in shakedown how to get back on it and put the disasters of Finland well and truly behind him. It was a really impressive performance from young Oliver last night. Let's grab a word with him in 1 second. Elliot just there. A little bit busy on it. Watch yourself, watch your back, sir. Watch your back. Cars coming, lorries coming, people stepping out into the road. Oliver, we look at the shakedown times last night and right back on it. Fantastic performance.
Yeah, it was good. As I said, I have more confidence in the car on tarmac. And okay, today is a different day. It's a long day, so it depends on the weather. But so far, it looks quite good. So hopefully we can get some consistent speed in. But yeah, it's just to get through first of all. Yeah.
What are you expecting in terms of the weather this morning in particular?
I don't know. It can be dry, it can be wet, it can be damp, whatever. So it'll be tricky anyway. So it's the tricky stages with a lot of cuts.
Stuff. Well done. Best of luck. There we are, young Oliver Solberg. Really, really, really encouraging to see his performance. And as he said, you're way more confidence in this car, as we've seen with both Tanak and Neuville, particularly on gravel. The car is still quite difficult to drive, very difficult to master, quite unpredictable at times. But as Oliver said there, on the tarmac, it's a bit more predictable. It's a little easier to drive. He has a lot more confidence in how to handle this car. It could be a very good weekend for young Oliver. He was quick here last year in the Rally 2 car. Let's see what we can do. His target for the weekend, for sure, will be to finish. And I'm sure he can do that. That's Esa-Pekka Lappi heading towards the stage start. I'll tell you what, folks, we will probably just wrap it up there because the stage is well and truly underway. So the story of the morning is the weather, the potential for these dark, building, threatening clouds to dump a little bit of moisture on the stages. What I can guarantee you is that by lunchtime, early afternoon, it'll be wet. This morning, though, with the various different tyre choices, could be extremely interesting out there.